Grand Theft Auto 3, Rockstar's first 3D game. The game with a huge open world with full of crime and crazy enemies, all that jazz. This game you're able to steal cars, do missions, run away from the cops, do even more missions, run away from the cops again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Then you do more missions, then you run away from the cops again, and again, and blow up some people, blow up this city with a bunch of freaking tanks and explosions freaking everywhere, all these freaking mob boss missions and rifles, running around, driving all over the place, looking like you own the place. Kind of a handful. Feels kind of repetitive, huh? Well, me, I'm used to the old Grand Theft Auto games, but since I'm playing this one, let's take a big look at Grand Theft Auto 3. Now, let's just get something out of the way. I think it's a decent game. I consider it a flawed masterpiece. There are some issues with it. I mean, Owen Good basically described this game as a national obsession. And he definitely wasn't wrong about that. But that's not the point. The point is, I want to break down a couple of things about the game, starting with the story, and then the character, which will be short, and then the game itself. Okay, so the game is pretty simple. You're playing as a criminal named Claude Speed. Yeah, I'm that king, that's literally his name. I'll refer to him as Claude. Now here, as Claude gets arrested, he's taken down the street up to a bridge when suddenly something unexpected happens. Like in any other action movie or video game, suddenly they get in a crash and escapes. And after he escapes, suddenly I think a giant explosion, far as I see, blows up the van. And then, oh geez, they are in quite a big of trouble. Well, just waiting for the whiteness to wear off. That's quite a hell of an explosion if you think about it. It was so big, pieces of the bridge are missing there. Or either that or the game is just lagging when it comes to quality there. But you can see that the entire truck was just completely blown up. You're gonna get used to that loading screen because you'll see that a lot in this game. Well, after the van explodes, basically has to drive his buddy back to his little apartment. It's kind of odd. I mean, don't you think the other guy could have drived? I mean, seriously, since you were the first one in the car, why didn't you get in the front seat? Why does Claude have to drive the car? Whatever. Well, otherwise, the main gameplay is pretty easy, and like I said, it's a decent game, the game is playable, but to explain the main story, like I mentioned, you're playing as a criminal named... and that's it. No, really, the game is that bland. In a majority of this game, you're basically just an errand boy. You're just a guy in a black jacket, normal brown pants, smart choice. And you're literally just taking missions from mob bosses, driving girls around, or basically just assassinate some random bastard and you get paid for it. Hell, there was even a mission where you have to drive one of your mob bosses literally out of town in the worst ways possible because he's a marked man, you can't take the bridge. So, how do you get this guy out of town? Well, you've got to drive him through the freaking subway. Yeah, I'm not even joking. You legit have to illegally go down the subway with a sports car or whatever effing car you have and literally drive through the subway. The subway tracks while the trains are still coming. Okay, do these freaking mob bosses have any respect for... And God almighty, was I tired of it after only 15 missions into the game. Seriously, this was getting so unbelievably tedious. This game was so dang hard when playing on the PlayStation 2. I literally had to cheat to get through the later missions of the game. Yeah, the game is really that hard. And I'm going to describe it in 3 ways possible to why the original version of Grand Theft Auto 3 sucks. Starting off with reason number 1, the map. By God, the map. Now, if you were lucky enough to get a copy of the game on the internet, if you pull away the manual, and throw that aside, that's not important right now, you can see this giant paper piece of my god. Seriously, how do you know you're going this game? Well, you gotta unwrap this big ass map and you gotta look around and say, okay, where the hell am I in the game? Yeah, it doesn't sound that bad, but believe me, it really is, because some areas are completely misplaced. How inconsistent is that? Watch. Okay, so I am right here on the map. And if we zoom in on my TV, where am I? Right there. You can see that right there. See, I'm pointing to it. Yeah, that's where I am on the map. That's all you have. There's nothing else in the actual game, just that mini-map. So, you look at the actual map. I need to get there, where that little Joker card is. Okay, so let's head over there. And believe me, what you're seeing is not what you think it's gonna be. You think it's gonna be a good time? Well, believe me, it won't be. Also, we should be thankful that we have a mini-map in Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5, because without this, we would still be Grand Theft Auto 3. Reason 2. The missions. Oh my lord, do I despise the missions in this game. It's so freaking simple. All you really do is walk in, hello, guy gives you orders, you walk away and do them. Claude never says a word. Hell, sometimes the guy you're taking orders from isn't even there, just leaves a silly little note. Well, Claude does the dirty job, and every time you die in the game, it's mission fail. And what's worse is that usually when you mission fail in the game and get wasted, usually you end up having to start over, and worse, if you didn't die, you have to drive all the way back and start the mission all over again. Reason 3. The shooting. Was the shooting broken in this game? Seriously, in the original version of Grand Theft Auto 3, it felt like the shooting was unresponsive. And worst of all, moments where you're fighting enemies that are actually shooting back at you, the problem is that the aiming isn't fast enough, and plus, enemies have guns that literally kill you in seconds. Like one time I had full health and armor, some guy with a machine gun killed me in like 2 seconds for me doing nothing. That's how sensitive your health is in the area where you have trouble aiming in the game. Seriously, you have to like hold R2 just to aim at the enemy and shoot. Seriously, it's really bad how the shooting was in this game, and I am really glad how they fixed it in the later ones. It was just a really big problem with the game, because when shooting is something you do in the main Grand Theft Auto games, and the fact how this game got that one job wrong really disappoints me. Grand Theft Auto 3, despite the game's flaws, I think it's a decent game. And yet, if you haven't noticed, I've mainly been talking about the OG version of the game. The original version of the game had all these problems. But again, that's just the PS2 version of the game. And if you ask me, if you think it's worth replaying today, well, if you're used to the modern Grand Theft Auto games, I would say no. Or if you're someone who's willing to play all the Grand Theft Auto games, I would suggest playing this one because it was the first 3D game. But I'll be clear and tell you this. Do not buy Grand Theft Auto 3 on the PS2. This version sucks. Buy the game on the Google Play or the App Store. Believe me, this version is much better, and all the problems I talked about have been fixed. Meaning that basically if you die in a mission, you get the choice to restart it, so that way you don't lose anything. Plus the shooting has been much well fixed. And also the map in the game, if you click on the side on the mini map, you can actually open a full map, so that way you have a perfect full view of the game map. All the problems I talked about in the version of this game on the PS2 was all fixed on the Google Play and App Store version, so I highly advise you, if you want to go play Grand Theft Auto 3, buy it on the App Store or Google Play. Believe me, that version is much better. Believe me, don't play the original version, it sucks. That's just my opinion, and again, it's really your choice if you want to play this game or not. But let me know in the comments below, do you guys like Grand Theft Auto 3 or do you hate it? Let me know in the comments below, and quick challenge to you viewers. If this video gets 10 likes, I will do a Let's Play on my channel of Grand Theft Auto 3. And always, see you guys.